the big controversy of the day. The Wriddhiman Saha was dropped from the Indian Test side. That may not be a big controversy. Players get picked, players get dropped. But what is controversial is that he was given a guarantee by the board president that as long as he is in chair, Wriddhiman will continue to be in the team. So let's have a look at what happened, the sequence of events. Now, Sourav Ganguly promised Saha a place in the team. This was after the 61 he scored against New Zealand in Kanpur. Wriddhiman says that he hasn't spoken to Sourav since. This is what he's told some of the media outlets, that as long, Sourav told him, as long as I'm here helming the BCCI, you would be in the team. Now, Saha was dropped from the test team yesterday, as was Ajinkya Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara, because he's obviously not been a part of the main team for a very long time. Now, should Sourav Ganguly have promised Saha? That's the question we are asking at this hour. What is Sourav Ganguly's role in team selection? The message that was given to Wriddhiman Saha was go and play Ranji Trophy. There wasn't a clear direction or clear roadmap given to him whether he'll be picked in the future or dropped. I'm joined at this hour by a former selector of the Indian cricket team, Sarandeep Singh, also another former selector, Ashok Malhotra. We'll try and understand how do the selection dynamics work in Indian cricket and why has this become controversial. Sarandeep, to you first. Sourav Ganguly guaranteed Wriddhiman Saha that he will be a part of the test side as long as he is in chair. Would you say he then forgot to communicate it to the selection committee, or Sourav should have not placed any guarantee in the first place?
Look, being a cricketer first, then being a BCCI president, I think he can speak to the players just fine. But again, if we come to the decision, then I think that this is a selection committee decision. Dropping him or picking him, it's all about selection committee. I think chairman should, like Chairman Sharma, come up and he should speak to him about his future, about his selections, and either they go back to play a Ranji Trophy. And if he keeps scoring runs over there, either he's going to come back or not. So I think this will be talked about all. Chetan Sharma has to speak about all these things.
Ashok, what Saha is saying that Ganguly messaged him that he'll be in the team, but in South Africa, apparently Rahul Dravid spoke to him saying that they are looking at a younger face to be a backup keeper for Rishabh Pant, and then subsequently Chairman of Selectors also spoke to him. So would you say that right now it's Rahul Dravid who's calling the shots and it's not Sourav Ganguly so much in selection matters?
See, president, being a president, and as Sarandeep said, as a former cricketer, he has every right to speak to him. And being is a Bengal teammate, probably he told him what Saha has said. Ganguly told him, but probably he forgot to communicate to the selection committee and the team management. And the fact is, the buck stops with the selection committee. And in consultation with the management, they pick the team. And as Saha was told in South Africa, that means he must have consulted with the selection committee. So it was a joint decision by the management and the selection committee, dropping of Saha, dropping of Ishant Sharma, dropping of Rahane and Cheteshwar Pujara. So that I think writing was on the wall, but they must have. But probably Sourav forgot to communicate to the management and selection committee. But as I said before, I don't know how it was during Sarandeep's time, but our time, the selection committee used to select the team, communicate to the president, and he would put a stamp of approval. That was how it was done. I don't know how it is nowadays, but during our time, it was that. And this is how it was done even before us. So I don't know where they've gone, right, but I think it's a communication gap.
Sarandeep, 3 players have been dropped from the test team. Along with Wriddhiman, Cheteshwar Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane have also been dropped. We are not talking about the other 2. That's because Wriddhiman Saha looks a little upset, if I may use that word, because he heard from the all-powerful BCCI president that he'll be in the team. Then subsequently he was thrown out of the team. And he's not aware that Sourav is not the whole and sole authority. Does that really happen, that the players are not aware who can call the shots and who can't?
I think players knows everything. This is only, you can say on the TV that I don't know who's taking the shots. That's totally different story. But yeah, if I'm talking about the selection, about Wriddhiman Saha, what happens to him, if you look at Chiteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, we know that they are not scoring runs, so there will always be a question mark about their selections, and even into the playing 11 also, either they have to there or not, because they're not performing in South Africa. We lost the series and they both are out of the scene, we know that. But Wriddhiman Saha, I mean, he's into the scheme of things all the time. But again, once there is another thing of thinking like what selectors think when the selection team, if I talk about myself when we were selectors, if we know Rishabh Pant is the main wicket keeper and he's the only one going to play in, and Wriddhiman Saha at the age of 37, 38, I mean, it doesn't even look better that he's sitting outside and he don't have a chance, because only that he's growing up. So definitely they think like the team management and the selection committee will go for the younger one who can play for another 7, 8 or 10 years with you, who can be a second wicket keeper after Rishabh Pant. Because somehow you're not going to withdraw Rishabh Pant and bring back Wriddhiman Saha at this time into the team. So I think this is the mentality about the selection committee having their minds that, okay, we have to go for a youngster. That's why they drop Wriddhiman Saha. Means Wriddhiman Saha, only the question is that he haven't played in test match, you don't get the much chances because Rishabh is only playing. So if you're picking him on the South Africa tour, then you should be picking him into the Sri Lanka tour also. Give him an opportunity or tell him that, yes, fine, we are looking for a youngster, but at least you have to play him. Without playing him and sitting and drop and throwing out of the team like what you did it with Ishant Sharma. I mean, it's totally wrong. Man, there is all players are playing in South Africa. And Ishant Sharma, 106 test matches, one of the highest wicket takers we having. Such a senior pro, and he's doing so well from the last. Whatever the test matches he play, he got the wickets, he bowled really well. And suddenly he's out of the scene. Means this is right, totally shocked. Means you should, with the seniors players, if you're giving opportunity to Ajinkya Rahane and Pujara so much test matches, keep giving opportunity again and again. So what went wrong with Wriddhiman Saha and Ishant Sharma? I seriously don't know. I really felt sad for Wriddhiman and Ishant Sharma.
Right. I think Ashok has a point. Please go on.
See, Rika, Riddhi, he has been getting injured very often. As Sarandeep said, if you keep giving chances to others, he got injured, KS Bharat kept in his place and kept brilliantly. So he's 10 years younger than Wriddhiman Saha. And he's very rightly said, if you take him, either you pick him in the 11 or you don't pick him. And when you're talking about the youngsters, and same with Ishant Sharma, I know he's played 100 test matches, but Ishant Sharma, whenever he comes, he looks a beginner. He never looks the leader of the pack. A new guy comes, a Bumrah comes, a Shami comes, a Shardul Thakur comes, or a Deepak Chahar comes, they perform better than him. And not to forget, age does catch up, especially for a fast bowler. And I know age is just a number, but it does catch up. And what about the youngsters who are waiting in the wings, waiting for a while? If Ishant has played 100 test matches, there are a lot of fast bowlers who have been waiting and maybe never got a chance also. So somewhere along the line, I would say selection committee has taken the tough decision, the hard decisions. So it might not go well. Nobody wants to be dropped. Like I played Ranji Trophy till I was 40. I would have also not liked if somebody would have dropped me for age. But the fact is, the youngsters are pushing for the places. And if you keep giving them chances by getting injured, that is where the cookie crumbles.
You go out of the team. Right. And perhaps the silver lining for Wriddhiman Saha is that he has been bought for 1.9 crore rupees by the Gujarat Titans from the IPL auction. Who knows, he might find his way back to the Indian cricket team through the IPL way. But for now, he's been dropped from the team, and there have been a little nudge from the selectors for him to retire as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast this evening.